All right, welcome. Thank you for joining us again here on your Cornerstone in Health Live. It is an amazing day here in Minot, and I am inside right now, which I should be outside, and hopefully you could be outside this afternoon too. The sun is shining, just perfect day out there. So anyway, but thanks for joining us if you're tuning in now or anytime that you have. I'm Dr. Willie Fieldhauer, and we're excited to share a few more things with you today. This week, I'm going to go through 7 things for success that I picked up when I was at the UND graduation this last weekend. And so I know graduations weekends are coming up here, and many of our patients and their families are celebrating there, which we'll share a little bit about that. So in our talk today, we're going to cover the 7 things I heard for success. In 2 weeks, when I'm back with you guys again, we're going to have a treat for you. I'm going to have a guest on our talk here with us and sharing some things with you. Amber Shea, our ops director here for Cornerstone. So you'll get a behind-the-scenes look at some of the things that we do in our office to support our team and certainly have a healthy work environment and encourage people to enjoy their life. And it's a constant balance, really, for a work and life balance in progress for everybody, but certainly Amber has a lot of impact on that. So we're excited to have her with us here in 2 weeks. So keep that in mind for next time. And then on Tuesday, June 4th, we have a pickleball event coming up, which I'm going to share a little more information about that at the end of our talk here today as well. But at that pickleball event at Roosevelt Park, we need to have you sign up. We're going to have a limited spot. We have 20 total spots. I'm going to be sharing some tips on stretches and healthy ways to get into a sport that's certainly the fastest growing sport in the nation right now, going even talks now of Olympic pickleball, which I think we'll see in our lifetime. So anyway, but locally at Roosevelt Park, we're going to be doing this where I help people understand the safe ways to get into pickleball and playing that through some stretches and warm-up activities. Then we have Bree Hernandez, who is actually works with the Souris Basin Planning Council, and she's an amazing pickleball player here in Minot. And so she's going to share some tips and coaching to help people get started with some of the rules, some of the basic strokes, and so she's going to donate some of her time to come out and help us out there at Roosevelt. So that'll work out great. So thanks for joining us, those of you that tuned in here. Glad to have you, and certainly share this around as much as you can. So we'll make it as valuable as we possibly can for you today. So that's going to be our show for today. We'll jump right into the graduation. So at UND this last weekend, my nephew's wife graduated with a master's degree, so a huge shout out to her. Great job. Jamie is her name. Her family is actually in Minot, the Hofford family, Rob and Stephanie and her brother Kelsey. Anyway, great family, but Jamie's just a super hard worker, so big props to her for getting her master's in education. She's teaching 3rd grade in Bismarck. So in this graduation, I think UND, if I understand right, had 1,700 graduates, which was pretty awesome. I hadn't actually been to a UND graduation. And so ours was the doctorate program and the master's program that we went to in the morning, and then they had the undergraduates in the afternoon. So, but now I know this weekend and coming up weekends around here, there is lots of graduations from high school. And we've seen some stressed moms and dads, and certainly the moms tend to take more of this stress on than the dads do. But moms are most of the time lining everything up and getting it planned for the event and the party. But so it certainly could cause some big changes and life changes for these young people. And so we've taken care of a lot of people through this process. What's really interesting too is that we've taken care of these kids and adjusted them, and now they're graduating from high school and moving away to places like West Virginia and Colorado and Mayville College and several other ones. So big shout out to all of our graduates that have been members of our practice. We've got a few of them, and I apologize if I miss any, but I just had 3 of them that popped to mind here: Dylan, Isabel, and MJ. So big props to you guys. Way to go. You're going to do some awesome things. And we'd love to see if you move out of Minot to go to university, come back. We'd love to have you come back. So anyway, one of the speakers at this event was Casey Ryan at the UND graduation. Casey Ryan, and he's with the State Board of Higher Education. And interestingly enough, we have 2 members from Minot, 2 people that maybe you know from Minot that are on that State Board of Higher Education. Tim Mahalik is one of them, who I know and have met. He's done a few different things here in Minot. And then Kevin Black, who I haven't personally met yet. But both, I was surprised to see we had 2 individuals on that. So, but anyway, Casey was there and spoke and shared a few thoughts with us. And one of the things that he had shared, which was pretty interesting, is that with the graduates, he said here at university and school, it's 90% knowledge and 10% communication. And that's really true with lots of learning and institutions that way. And he said, now when you go out after your graduation and into the real world and into your next positions and development, whatever you're looking for your position in your career, it's actually going to do a flip-flop. And it's going to be 90% about communication and 10% about your knowledge. So certainly they've got their knowledge down, but he gave 7 steps to successful communication, and therefore things that can really help success build for you in whatever you're doing. And so I found value in them for myself, so I thought it'd be fun to share those. So the first one, which is very simple and straightforward, is be honest. And clearly that it doesn't, everybody knows that, but it's just too easy at times to not be totally transparent and completely honest. And for especially when you're grasping for something and trying to figure things out and you don't really have the full grip on what you're doing, don't say more than what you really know. And honesty can go a long way. It certainly, along with honesty comes humility, and that's an attractive quality and certainly breeds success for everyone. The second one was, he said, if you don't know what to do, smile. And certainly that's really good. We have our topic of the week up this week is smile. It makes them wonder. And so smiling certainly brings a new element to connection. And one of the things that one of the directors, I believe it was, of the medical school said that people decide, and maybe this was Casey, I'm not sure, but people decide whether or not they like you within 10 seconds of meeting you. And I found that really shocking. It's instantaneous, and we don't like to think that we make snap judgments, but internally we process that information so quick, and our brains function at that level such that we set ourselves up for liking this person or not within 10 seconds. And so certainly smiling has a massive impact on raising the level of whether or not you're going to be able to connect with this person, whether it's through an interview, whether it's your college roommate, whether it's friends or family, people that you're meeting for the first time. Smiling makes a huge impact on that. The third thing was very simply be nice. And we can be honest and not nice, but certainly being nice is a key. And communicating that way in a way that is friendly and courteous and really has the other person's best interest at heart goes miles upon miles. And nobody really wants to be around anybody that has all the knowledge and is able to give you any answer, but it just isn't nice about it. And so that hinders us dramatically. So some of these tips for these graduates from high school and from college certainly apply to all of us, but please share them around to these ones that have been going to be graduating or graduated from high school, because they certainly can move them along the long way. The fourth one was listen. And in practice here, that's a big one for us, because most of the time in a consult and when we're listening to people, we understand and we can figure out the solutions and the causes of some of these problems by what people are sharing with us and what their experience is. So it's really an important piece of what we do here in the practice. And we've all heard that saying that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And listening is a way that we can demonstrate our care. The human beings like to hear the sound of their voice very much, and so when we listen and allow other people to talk and share what they've got going on, we're demonstrating that they are important to us. And so I appreciate and recognize those of you out there listening to this right now. And certainly don't, it's kind of funny here, I'm the one doing all the talking today, but sure would love to be hearing from you. So with that in mind, fire up the speed texting and send us a comment or things that you'd like to hear from us, things that you think that we should cover in our talks with you in our Your Cornerstone and Health lives, and we'd love to address some of those, because we absolutely want to hear from you. This isn't a one-sided conversation, just like it's never that way in our practice and shouldn't be that way in any relationship. So we want to hear from you, because we are listening and we do care about what's going on in your world. The fifth thing that Casey had shared was attitude. And certainly this wasn't one of the things that he said, but you've heard it before, I'm sure. I'm stealing it from somebody, but is your attitude worth catching? And one of the things that I do quite frequently and regularly is play pickleball. And pickleball usually is a game of doubles. Most frequently you play doubles, so you have a doubles partner. And your attitude and your focus when you're out there playing on the court can have a tremendous impact, not only on your play, but on the play of your partner. And so if you don't have a good grip on your mental focus and your thoughts and the way that you're playing, you can pull back or hinder your partnership and therefore your success on the court. That goes down to any relationship in life. Your attitude and your level of investment in that relationship, and therefore it comes out in the way that you have your mindset and your thoughts towards that. So having your attitude being positive and uplifting and focused on forward momentum and growth, I thought this was super pertinent with Casey mentioning this to these graduates. Certainly we're not owed anything, nobody owes us anything, and having that attitude of getting out there to do everything we can for others and move forward, and that certainly will be returned to us, no doubt about it. And the sixth thing that he shared comes down to one that builds purpose and internally, and that is make a difference in what you do. And everybody's got to work and make a living, but in our life, no matter what stage you're at, the thing that adds the highest level of purpose to your life is doing something that you personally feel makes a difference. And you'll know what that is. I don't know what that is for you, but if you're not doing anything like that, you'll notice a gap. You'll notice a missing piece. And one of the personal experiences I had was that we did a talk in the office here a few weeks back called Unraveling Neurodevelopmental Disorders. And this was a talk that we went over how the nervous system impacts things like autism and ADHD and sensory disorders and so forth. And I personally know and feel that there's information that these families and children need to be able to blossom and grow, and we have things and information in our practice that we can share with them that no one would ever guess. And so I had the opportunity of being there that night, and regardless of whether anybody came into the practice afterwards or became new patients of the practice, which many of them did, I knew that my purpose was fulfilled that night because I shared information that they had an opportunity to utilize, and it would change some of the choices that they had. They had more choices to make for themselves, I should say, and options that would allow them to expand. And so that purpose for you or that making a difference might be in the form of helping your neighbors. It might be in the form of walking dogs, at the Souris Valley Humane Society. There's just many, many different things, but certainly Casey was encouraging these students to make a difference in what they do. And that the cool part about that is that you get to decide, but be sensitive to that, be aware of it. The last one is certainly one that we all should take to heart, and I did for sure. It says be accountable for our mistakes. And when you mess something up, just have the honesty and integrity to step up and own that. And how many of us have heard someone do that? How frequent does that happen where someone says, man, I blew it, right? That was on me, I messed that up. I'm going to reset, and we're going to move forward in this direction with these action steps now, knowing what I know now and making the mistake that I made at that point. I'm one that when I hear that spoken with honesty and integrity from someone, I am all about giving someone that opportunity to reset and go in that direction. And it would be lovely if we would hear that from our leaders and people in power for sure. In that way, but on a local level and on an individual level, we can do that, and we can be accountable because we're all going to screw up. That's just the way it is, and we make mistakes. But owning those things and not finding someone else to put it on certainly is a thing that can make a difference in your ability to communicate with someone, because you want to be around someone who's willing to take on their own mistakes. So I'll just run through those 7 here, bullet points again, just briefly for you. Be honest, super simple. If you don't know what to do, smile. It makes them wonder. I added that one in there, so we can't credit Casey with that one. Be nice. Listen like you actually care, because you need to care. People know if you're listening and you don't care and you're just trying to think about your next thought. Having an attitude that's worth catching. Making a difference, choosing things in your life to do that can make a difference. and then certainly be accountable for your mistakes. And we know how to do that in a way that can establish and continue that integrity that you have, and that's so important in everything that we do. So I just wanted to recap for us today. For 2 weeks from now, we're going to have Amber Shea, our ops director, come in and share some great tips about what we do here in the office, and I'll share a couple of behind the scenes things because I was there when we interviewed Amber here a few years back. And then we have that pickleball event coming up on June 4th. So if you'd like to be involved, you certainly can fire off a comment to our team here and our connections management team and leadership. Jay at the front of that will be able to get you set up and on that schedule. We have a limited number of spots because of the space for that. So if you've been interested in getting started or reaching out to more people in the pickleball community, that's a great way to do it. We're going to have a few snacks there. We're going to have a little prize that we're giving away, a waterproof Bluetooth speaker from Rockville. So that'll be kind of fun. I have a speaker in my bag that I take out when we go out places. Just kind of nice if you're outside, you want to hear some music. It's a great thing. So that'll be kind of a nice prize that we're going to give away to those who participate and come. So again, that's on June 4th, Tuesday. Bree Hernandez will be the pickleball coaching part of that, and then I'll be doing the health tips regarding to that. So we're going to wrap this up for today. So share this with any graduates you know. Congratulations to all those grads, whether it's your doctorate degree or whether it's your high school diploma. It's a huge accomplishment, and go forth and change the world. So we'll end up today. Thanks for joining us.